Am I speaking to right now?
Cameron.
My name is Cameron.
Cam Buford.
Hey, it's Peter Rosenberg. I'm hanging on my man Cameron Buford.
We got some good questions today. I'm a Dolphin fan.
There's always room for improvement. I'm more a fan of boxing. Boxing is my main sport.
All we want to see every year are the best two mothers getting in the ring and getting them.
I got some of this for you.
Goodness. For me?
Yeah, just for you.
Think about it like this: the promoter pays the fighter, the fighter pays the manager.
Okay.
So the manager works for the fighter, and the fighter works for the promoter.
Okay.
So you are lifting weights currently?
It's not look like that.
When he said it's easier to score in the NBA versus Europe, did you agree with them?
To me, it's easy to score all over the world.
Can I finish right now? Do you want me to speak or do you want to conduct the interview and answer for me?
What do you
Which one?
What do you think about this type of
Aaron, like I was saying before.
Aaron, what has the game of baseball taught you?
One of the biggest things is being humble.
Can you give a message to the kids to kind of persevere through the false teachings they may be giving?
Patience.
Okay.
Patience.
As the show Voice of the Fans
Oh my goodness!
continues to
I'm in
evolve,
You were adding some spice to it.
it is strictly banter back and forth between myself and Cameron Buford.
I enjoy all of it.
The real ones know what's going on, right? Never mind.
Go watch the tape. Go watch the tape, and then you tell me if it was all about just a system.
You look like a buffoon.
Go do your research. Go do your study.
I'm not caught up to you guys yet. I do
Real, real surprised at that, Ken.
Hey, come here. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Oh, this guy.
That's what's good in sports, man. It's Big Snoop Dogg, man.
That's what's good in sport.
Thank you for making our voice your choice.
If you haven't told your girlfriend about the show, tell her about the show. If you haven't told your boyfriend about the show, tell him about the show. If you haven't told your cousin, your uncle, your grandfather about the show, let everybody know about the Voice of the Fans podcast.
Hey, man, thanks for making our voice your choice. You know how we do. Yeah.
What's good, fans? Thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. This is December 31. So you guys must not be too busy, but we appreciate you guys for tuning in nonetheless. It is week 365, and I got a friend of the show, longtime friend of the show, Eric Williams. Eric, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in with us, Eric.
Hey, what's going on, Cam? I appreciate you having me, as always. Good to see you on the last day of 2025, and let's try to bring 2026 on a positive note. So appreciate you having me.
Let's do that, man. Let the people know, Eric, where they can find you. We know you're NFL sports writer for Fox Sports. Let the people know specifically where they can find you on social media.
Yeah, you can find me on X/Twitter at edub NFL22. Sorry, I changed my Twitter handle, so I'm trying to memorize it again. And then you can find me on Instagram at edub NFL. And then you can find my work at foxsports.com.
We're gonna talk to some of that about your stock watch and your MVP watch. We're gonna talk about that here. We're gonna talk about that here shortly. But first, I want to know: is the winner of the NFC West? Are they gonna win the NFC altogether? So this game on Sunday, is this for all the marbles in more ways than one?
I'm gonna say yes.
Or Saturday first of all.
So yeah, I'm gonna say yes. Winner of the NFC West should win the NFC, but watch out for them Eagles, man. You know, defending Super Bowl champs. Running game, defense travels. I know they haven't been able to run the ball consistently, and you don't know what you're gonna get from Jalen in that passing game. But I think the fact that they've been there before, they've been, you know, through the gauntlet of getting to a Super Bowl twice now with Jalen. I think that means something. So I think they'll be dangerous as a potential road team that would have to go to San Francisco or Seattle.
Sirianni passing out. What books is he passing out? Are you familiar with the books that he's giving the squad?
I think the name is BTA.
Okay, you got a lot of confidence. You got a lot of confidence in these Eagles, huh?
Yeah, I don't sleep with these Eagles, man. I saw him in person when they played against the Chargers, and the Chargers ended up winning that game, but their defense looked legit. And I know that Jalen gets a lot of slander, but he plays big in big moments. And so if you have a quarterback that can make big plays in big moments, isn't scared of the moment, you have a defense that can play like they play.
The defense keeps them in games, certainly.
They're tough.
Barkley, Saquon Barkley. Talking about a defense, I fell in love with Mike McDonald this season.
Nice.
Not only is his demeanor, stoic demeanor, all about business. Rarely do you see him crack any jokes. And I'm totally okay with that. This is we're here to work. This is not fun and games. I'm totally okay with that. Stoic demeanor. I love that. I love what he's done with the defense. The defense is ferocious. The defense was ferocious when I went and saw him in preseason without Lawrence and Williams. They were ferocious then. You add those two to it, and the defense is ferocious, and they got the young guys coming along.
Yeah,
I just don't trust their quarterback, and he's shown the week after week, the last 3 weeks. If the ball bounces a certain way, he has three interceptions. Yeah, or he get lucky. He got lucky this last week against Carolina? Like there was he kept them in the game longer than they should have been in the game. I'll put it like that.
Yeah, I hear you on Sam. I felt like the game against the Rams was a little bit of a breakthrough where he was able to lead them at the end of the game on a scoring drive. I think that's something to build on. He does put the ball in harm's way a little more than you'd like. But, I was up there last month when they played Minnesota, had a chance to talk one-on-one with Sam and a handful of teammates and Mike McDonald, and everybody's kind of saying the same thing. Like, that's our dude. We understand there's going to be some mistakes, but we're riding with that guy. And I think that means something to the rest of the team and to Sam in terms of his confidence when he goes into big games in big moments like he's going to have against San Francisco. And he doesn't have to do it all by himself. I think that's one of the things that benefits him because, like you said, the defense is legit. They can keep the score down. He just has to make a handful of plays in the game, and they can win more times than not.
And correct me. First of all, I got two questions to ask you on this. That's not on my script here. Does the confidence, when the coach puts that much confidence in the player and encourages his teammates to get rally behind this player, does that actually build that player's confidence?
I think so because I think the player can play a little more free when he feels like guys have their back. And even if he makes a mistake, it's like it's all good. Go out and make the next one. So you still have confidence that you can go out there and execute when you needed to execute in those moments. So I think it does give you confidence. It's kind of like a kicker when a kicker misses a field goal and guys are salty about it. Now he's scared to miss again instead of thinking, I'm going to make it. So you have to have that confidence in everybody on your team, particularly a quarterback, because he has to make a decision on every play on offense. So we'll see if he can get it done in San Francisco.
I like Mike's whole demeanor, and he does put a lot of confidence in him. My one question, and I don't know if this is a Mike McDonald question or I'm having a brain fart on Kubiak. Is Kubiak young Kubiak?
Kubiak? Yep.
Is it Clint Kubiak's youth that forces him to continue to go to Darnold versus sometimes they should be running the ball? They should. There's time when Sam Darnold is throwing a pick or a questionable play, and they turn around and go right back to him. It's like, no, let's run the ball. Let's cool you down a little bit. Let you settle down a moment. Do you notice that? Am I seeing something I'm not seeing? What do you think about Kubiak's play calling?
I think Kubiak's play calling, for the most part, has been spot on. I don't think you want to get predictable. I think that's part of it, and you need to have balance. And I think the other part is they haven't been consistent in their ability to run the football. Charbonnet had a good game against
really?
Packers. I don't think they're averaging like what 3.7 a carry. I mean, they're not just rolling over dudes. I mean, they're having trouble, getting the type of running game, the type of explosive running game. I think that you expected from the kind of talent they have, at least in the backfield. I think
they're in the market
with Walker and Charbonnet. So it was better against the Panthers. Is it going to be better against the Niners? It should. I mean, they should be able to run the football against the Niners.
I think they're on the market for a running back, by the way.
Yeah, I could understand that.
It's disappointing to see a running back in his third, fourth year. Kenneth Walker is a nice article you wrote about him, and nice chance you had to talk about him. However, you're still running. You're still running the bubble, dude, in your fourth year. Like, don't. You should have learned in your third game that you can't run the bubble in the NFL.
I'll say this about the zone running scheme. I know when Marshawn first got there, he had the same issues that Walker did in terms of where to hit the hole, where the cutback lanes were, when to press it. And I think that's why Charbonnet is more effective. So I think he's just had more reps in that scheme. And I think the more Walker is in that scheme and understands what he's being asked to do, he doesn't have to lean on his speed to get outside all his time and really just trust the blocking that is in front of him. I think he'll be more effective. I think he's got to give him some more reps.
Is week 18? Is it week 18?
No, I feel you. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'm just to me, Walker's the more talented back.
He is. I don't disagree with that. I don't. We've had this discussion
the more talented back at some point is going to show you that he's the more talented back and have more explosive runs. So I don't know if I would necessarily give up on him right now.
No, you gotta use what you got. You gotta use what you got. And I'm not at all saying give up on the guy. So you gotta, he has a chance to step up in the playoffs. They what a better time to step up.
He played good against the Rams a couple weeks ago too. I think he had.
He's had some good games.
Right.
And I like, and I was going to mention this. He had some good games. I like specifically. I don't recall what game it was specifically, but it was just within the last 3 weeks that they started Charbonnet. Charbonnet got the first couple carries in the game. When they did finally go to Walker, in that second or third series, Walker looked much more explosive. He came out running with a lot more purpose, and I saw the tactic there. I like that. I like that move, motivational move, because Charbonnet is more productive in this running scheme. That's plain and simple. Anybody can see that Charbonnet is more productive. However, it just scratched my head. Like, how is this so? That's what I'm scratching my head. But we're gonna go on from there. Okay. Does Lamar and or Harbaugh return to Baltimore next season?
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, I kind of go back and forth on this. It seems like I would say it's easier to find a quality head coach than it is to find a franchise quarterback. So it's going to really be up to the owner and who he believes in. Hey, Happy New Year to you. Thank you. Appreciate that, man. If I was making the call, I'm riding with Lamar. I think he's the real deal, and I'm trying to find a head coach that can get the most out of Lamar and has an understanding of who he is. That's how I would roll. But I mean, Harbaugh's had a lot of success too. Won a Super Bowl. That you have to respect that. But for me, I'm riding with Lamar.
And Lamar's
but what I think was going to happen is I think Harbaugh is staying and I think Lamar is going to be out of there. I think that's what's going to happen.
Ooh. Breaking news here from Mr. Fox Sports, Eric Williams.
This isn't me knowing anything. I think this is me speculating based on what's happening right now at the end of the year and based on the fact that Lamar wants to get paid. I mean, that's really at the heart of everything that's happening right now is, his contract is up in 2 years. He wants the contract extension. He wants to be the highest paid player in the league.
So every time your contract is up, you're going to miss the last 6 games of the season? Is that how this goes?
He doesn't have an agent, and so I think it's his way of showing leverage. The only way that you have leverage in the NFL, it's a business, man. Sorry, bro. Like, this is a business. We're not playing youth football no more. Like, we're playing for money. Don't get it twisted, man. I know you root for the laundry and all that, but this is a business. And so the only way as a player to have leverage is to withhold your services. And if you don't have an agent in there that's working with the front office and negotiating on your behalf as a player, it's really the only card you can play in that negotiation that gets ownership's attention. So
okay,
that's my read on it.
Okay, it's a business. Understood. 100% understand. It's a business. To be the best in your business, it requires you to be a good quality team player or teammate in the position that he plays. He's not AJ Brown, where he can just run some routes. I'm sorry. I
was going to bring up AJ Brown because AJ Brown's not following that playbook.
No, but he's not the receiver runs his.
He's better than AJ
route.
Brown. He gets the ball.
I understand. He is the quarterback is a better player, is a more important role than the receiver. Yes, I 100%. Yes. I'm not arguing that at all. What I'm saying is AJ Brown can come to practice late, run the right routes, and be on time with the rest of the guys. Yeah. The quarterback cannot do that. The quarterback, for the team to be successful, the quarterback cannot sit out six weeks every time there's a contract issue. The quarterback, for the team to be successful, at one point, it's not about money. We're not talking about money here. So, at what point though does your position make you a leader and make you lead these guys? The money is not an issue, and we're not talking about money, are we? He's not talking about
I think
50 million. I mean, he got plenty of money. We're not arguing about a few more dollars in the bank account or a contract extension. He should be well. I suspect him. Correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't think he was Allen Iverson going out here blowing money every season. So he should be taken care of in that respect. He's not paying agents, so he has no extra money to blow. By the way, I think that he could be a better teammate. He could be a better teammate. And if he's truly using his leverage as a player because it's a business, when there's a contract issue at the end of at the end of a season, multiple times now this has happened. If this is actually happening this year, that's a bad sign to a teammate. I don't want to play with a guy like that. I don't want to give my all the right guard making $750,000
and move on. Go ahead and play Huntley. Wow. I mean, that's where he's at. Yeah, I mean, he's not going to play hurt. We know that. He's not going to play hurt because, again, he's risking himself. And you're right. It's not necessarily about money, but it is about long-term security in terms of his status within the organization. And it's also about happiness. I mean, we've heard the rumors that he wants to move to play in Miami because that's where he's from. So maybe that's a leverage play. I don't know if he wants to play for Mike McDaniel. I think the better fit potentially would be the Raiders. The Raiders have a gang of cap space. I think Pete would be a good person for him to play for, in terms of his ability to understand, players. If Pete stays in Vegas.
That was my question. I didn't even have
that's still to be to
Right. I didn't have Pete on my radar. I understand Pete's out the door, and from my
we'll see.
Okay,
we'll see. I mean, how many former head coaches is Davis going to want to pay? He's already paying three dudes.
Right.
We just gonna pay another guy. I mean, Pete's still owed another 2 years on his deal, and it's not chump change. So
I mean, Tom not leaving.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Tom not leaving the booth to go to the sideline. So I mean, you might be right.
Yeah. And then we also have to consider, like, well, who's available? Who are you going to bring in? You're going to bring Salah in. Like, who are the guys that you're going to be able to get, and what are you going to be willing to pay them? So a lot of moving parts, obviously. I'm interested to see what happens with Lamar and ultimately, where he wants to be. Maybe it's just a bunch of bluster at this point, and he ends up staying put. We'll see if he plays this weekend. I believe he's supposed to practice on Wednesday. So
yeah, he did. He was at least at walkthroughs from what I know today. But I mean, I just come on. You're the leader of the team. You got to be there. That's my opinion. I mean,
I'm not disagreeing with you, Cam, but I'm also like, let's have a real honest conversation about the league. You've covered the league for a while. You understand this. It's not Pop Warner. Like, guys are getting paid. Guys are playing to get paid to play football. I mean, they're not playing. I mean, we want to think they're playing for the love of the game, but there's a lot of guys out there that are playing to get paid to play football, and there's nothing wrong with that because it is a business.
Yeah, and you make a very valid point and eye-opening point for the second string running back, for the second string cornerback who is fighting for a big deal. When this guy is not fighting for a big, that's my only argument in that situation. Specifically,
how do we know he's not fighting for a big deal? Because he already got one.
Lamar's been paid.
Hey man, I'm not counting Lamar Jackson's money. I don't know what kind of stuff he has going on, man. I don't know how extended he is and what kind of moves he's trying to make. Maybe he wants to be an NFL owner. So you got to stack your chips if you want to be an NFL owner. If you're moving in that stratosphere. So,
but as good as you are, I think he's an upper echelon of player that should be more concerned with taking his team to the next level. I think he can make, if they add Super Bowl champion to the 3 times NFL MVP, that might be worth a few more $1 million, Lamar. But that means you have to play the late in these seasons. Let's get off of Lamar. But that's my thoughts. Let's stay in this division, though.
Okay.
Does Mike Tomlin return to the Steelers?
Yes, Mike's not going anywhere.
He's good, huh?
Mike's good.
Now, I know you covered Phillip for several years. What's your thoughts on Phillip returning to the NFL and then, again, retiring?
I thought it was a cool story. It was awesome to see him back on the field again. He looked like he did 5 years ago. Obviously, having covered Phillip for 6 years, he's one of the smartest quarterbacks ever to play the position. He knows where he wants to go with the football pre-snap. And I think you saw that, going back into an offense he's intimately familiar with. He's good friends with Shane Steichen. His son Gunnar runs a similar style offense at St. Michael and Fairhope, Alabama, where, Phillip is serving as a head coach, both for Gunnar and his younger son, Pete, who I believe is going to be a freshman next year. When Gunner's going to be a senior, so they'll get to play 1 year together, which that's a cool story in itself. Wish he could have got a dub. Obviously, he didn't have the arm strength that he did maybe 5 years ago, so maybe that was an impediment, in terms of their ability to score points. But he had him in position to win games, which to me is remarkable considering the fact that he hadn't played in 5 years. So it was must-see TV for me. I mean, I was at the Rams game when the Colts were playing Seattle, and I was watching that game on the computer more so than I was watching the game I was at, to be honest, just because I was so interested to see how he would perform, and he played well, I think, under the circumstances.
Like you said, he looked like the Phillip Rivers from 5 years ago. He didn't the arm strength was the only thing he was lacking, because the smarts and intelligence. And what that shows you I think we might see Tom Brady played for a while. Rodgers is now playing for a while, but I think these quarterbacks may spawn a return for some of these guys who've been out for a year or two. Because if you know the system, kind of the timing, like in the way the game is, you're not gonna get plastered. You know what I'm saying? Mean Joe Green is not coming to plaster you with a helmet under your chin, so you're not gonna take that type of hit. And then they're also smart enough to keep themselves out of trouble. Like so those are the things, and I think that we may see a one or two more quarterbacks come back. Drew Brees may come back for all we know. Just because I think Drew
Brees make a lot of money in the booth, man. He ain't going nowhere.
Well, that's fair enough. That might have been a stretch, but I think that opens the door for some of these older quarterbacks. Do you see that as well?
No, what I think is this. I think we're not giving Phillip enough credit for how unique he is as a player.
Oh wow, okay.
Not everybody can come back and do what Phillip does. There's a small handful of players that are capable of doing that. So give Rivers his credit. And then I think the other thing that it shows is how hard it is to play quarterback at that level, and the fact that the guys need even more reps in college so they can come more prepared to play. And I think when you see the guys that are having success, Tyler Shupp, he's 26 years old, played in college for 6 years. Those are the kind of guys that are transitioning successfully to the league. Bo Nix played a gang of games in college. Brock Purdy played forever.
The Bill Parcells 40 games, 40 starts kind of thing. Yeah.
So and especially with NIL now, guys are making a lot of cash.
Yeah, there's no rush.
They're going to start choosing more. Yeah, why? I'm making $4 million to play college, and it's a lot more chill than it is with the kind of pressure you're going to be facing in the league, and you can buy everything that you want to pay for. Go ahead and stack your chips in college, and then get those 40, 50 starts, and then you get to the league and you're ready.
Some of them are stacking their chicks too.
A little bit both.
Okay, last one on Phillip, but does Phillip get in the Hall of Fame?
We'll see. I mean, obviously, I'm one of 50 voters. I take that serious, and just want to do my due diligence. When guys
I was trying
are ready
to break some news fans. And he caught me.
The one thing I will say is I do feel like it helps him to reset the clock, because now he's not going to be eligible until 2031. And the guys he would have been competing against, Drew Brees, Matt Ryan, Ben Roethlisberger, Tom Brady, those guys will probably have already worked through the process. Eli Manning is another one. So by the time that he's eligible in 2031, he might kind of stand out on his own a little bit, having a little more time pass. So I do feel like that helps him a little bit.
So you've been doing a stock watch most of the season. I think you personally started kind of early. You started like week 6 or 7.
I know. I start week 1. It's something that I do every week for the entire year.
Okay. Now that we're here at the end of the season, I mean it's hard for me. It's hard to differentiate these guys. And then I think we all of us, anybody evaluating the NFL, gets caught up in the statistical factor of it all and who has the better stats.
Yep.
Who'd you have leading your stock watch last week?
So the week previous, I think I had Stafford 1, May 2. I think I had Josh Allen 3. And then this week I switched. Well, no, I kept it. I kept Stafford 1, May 2. I think I moved McCaffrey to 3. And I think I had Josh Allen 4 and Smith and Jigba 5. I think that again, just kind of going off the top of my head. So for me,
ahead of Myles Garrett,
he still hasn't got the record.
So he has to break a long-standing record to be an MVP.
Yes. Well, his team only got 3 wins. So how much of an impact does he have? It's a great conversation. I mean, it's one of the story does one of the best numbers of the week for our website. So it's a story that gets a lot of clicks. A lot of people are interested in the discussion and the debate, and I'm here for it. And I think for me, like I didn't play quarterback growing up. I played running back. I played other positions. And so I hate to see it just become a quarterback award. I don't think that's fair. I think, we should be looking at other positions and how impactful they are, the entire team. And that's why, for me, McCaffrey deserves to be in consideration, because he's really the engine of not only that offense and really that team, particularly this year with the kind of success that they've had with Brock Purdy missing half the season, Kittle missing a bunch of games, no Nick Bosa, no Fred Warner, and the fact that they're still in position to earn the number 1 seed. That's because of McCaffrey. That said, if I was voting, and again, I don't have a vote for it, I would go with Stafford. I think Stafford, you're right, it's not a statistical award, but I think his numbers are better than May. And then I think if you look at who they played, I mean, the best team that New England's played is Buffalo.
Good call.
You look at who the Rams played. They had to play the Niners twice. They had to play Seattle twice. They play in the best division in the league. They had to play Philadelphia. They had to play the Colts. They had to play the AFC South, Jaguars. I just feel like their schedule was way tougher than New England, and the fact that they go 11-5 with that schedule, and Stafford for the most part has been lights out in the biggest games of the year. He struggled obviously against Falcons through 3 picks. So, if he has some recency bias, you're probably going to ding him there. But for me, I feel like he's played the biggest and the best in the biggest moments, throwing for 457 on the road in a game that, let's be real, they probably should have won that game. The refs want to over officiate and give guy 2 points.
Over officiate.
I know that's the rule, but I mean, come on, man, everybody stop playing. But it is what it is. Seattle got the dub. Shout out to them. But for me, I feel like Stafford is deserving of it. If May wins it, hey, he's deserving of it too. But for me, I would have Stafford a tick above May, and I think McCaffrey's right there.
I think Stafford is going to win it. And I think it's kind of the storyline situation. Been in Detroit, came to LA, won a Super Bowl. Now he never won through his whole career. He's never won an MVP. I think.
Yeah, I don't like that, Cam. I think that's
part of the. I think that's part of the storyline, though. And I think with Sean McVay, plays into the storyline.
Sure.
They're walking throughout the season. There's been multiple times they have the ball on the 2-yard line, on the 3-yard line, and he's he's passing the ball when most times they would run the ball. McVay's passing the ball all season long. He was doing that.
It's hard to score in the red zone. So, and Devontae is one of the best route runners in the league. So when Devontae was Aaron Rodgers, they had a lot of touchdowns like that.
Come on, it looked forced this season. Just watching the Rams play.
You
got to win your game.
You don't care how it gets done. You just want to score.
Right. Okay, Sean. Sean. You just happen to be friends with your buddy, and your buddy hasn't won an MVP. That's the storyline. That's why I say he's going to win it, because I just see that stuff kind of fitting together.
2 yards, 40 yards, they still count as touchdowns.
I think though Myles Garrett has been. Cleveland, they only won 3 games, but the games that they're losing a lot of games. How many games? I don't know if you know this, and I'm putting you on the spot there. How many games have they lost by 6 points?
Yeah, I don't know how many games they've lost in one score. I would imagine it's been significant.
Because they have been in all of their games.
Yeah,
and
for the most part, they've been close games that they lost.
And so I think Myles Garrett is a difference maker. I think you got to respect that. So who do you think is the coach of the year? This is another great question, or another solid question.
I think it's Vrabel. I think taking over a team that was 4-13 and bringing them to this point where they're going to win the AFC East for the first time in a while. The work that he did with Drake May, the money that they spent in free agency and bringing in guys and to get those guys to actually play to their potential. Free agency is a crapshoot, and a lot of guys get paid and come in and don't perform well. So the fact that a lot of those guys that they signed in free agency have come in and performed, I give credit to Vrabel for coaching them up. Ben Johnson certainly has an argument. Kyle Shanahan certainly has an argument with all the injuries that they've dealt with. Liam Cohen in Jacksonville has done an amazing job with Trevor Lawrence and that team. I didn't think Liam Cohen had those coaching jobs, man. Like, I definitely slept on him when he was with the Rams, serving as their offensive coordinator. So much respect to him. But for me, I think it would be Vrabel.
You didn't mention Canales
Give Dave credit, and I like Dave. Dave's a great dude, great coach. Got to know him a little bit when he was in Seattle, working for Pete. Dave definitely deserves to be part of that conversation, but I don't think I would put him up there with that top 4.
Okay, Vrabel. I like that. I like that as well. I mean, perfect fit for the Patriots. Been there, experienced it, has that lineage. Perfect fit. My only disappointment.
I still feel like they did Jared Mail dirty though, by only give him 1 year. Like, I didn't love how that happened, but I get it.
I mean, Vrabel. I mean, they couldn't cast a better character coach for. Yeah. Like, I'm with you too. Mayo, he got done dirty, but Vrabel. I mean, I'm going to get Vrabel myself. So thank you, Chief. But the thing that frustrates me as a longtime Miami Dolphin fan is here's this team, this franchise, lose who some would say, many would say, the GOAT of all time as a quarterback. Lose the GOAT as a head coach, and inarguably either one of those guys. And then 2 years later, they get the coach of the year and a potential MVP candidate, and the Dolphins still haven't found a quarterback since Dan Marino. Mm-hmm. Is that ownership?
Yeah,
is that
totally
just
ownership.
So it's just
ownership.
Okay, 100% ownership. I'm trying to figure this out. Like,
I mean, think about it. Think about the Spanos family and how much dysfunction they've had over the years. And then all of a sudden they hire Jim Harbaugh and everything's great. So they finally spent some money on a head coach and brought him in, and they're winning games. So if you're ownership, I mean, you have the ability to change the direction of your franchise by getting that hire right, whether it's the head coach or the quarterback. I mean, you have to get both of those positions correct, or else you're just going to flounder for decades. You see it with the teams that are constantly losing. Look at the Arizona Cardinals and how much they're flipping through head coaches. Look at the Raiders and how much they're flipping through coaches. The rest of the league wants you to do that. The rest of the league wants Miami to fire McDaniel and go hire another coach, because now you're rebuilding again. They're like, great, we don't have to worry about them.
I mean, with McDaniel, you don't have to worry about them as a head coach. I mean,
they're winning games.
Nah, come on. The teams is late in the season. They've looked at the schedule. They're like the Dolphins. Come on,
those wins mean something. That means
to who?
To who? They mean something to the franchise.
The Dolphins beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this weekend meant absolutely nothing to the franchise.
No,
it meant something to Hewers. If Hewers gets a little feather in his cap,
those wins mean something. I'm telling you, those wins mean something.
Cash for Ross, and so what I'm hearing,
you're trying to build a winning culture. You don't do that by losing.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. However, why does it take you 8 weeks to start winning games? Why does it take you 8 weeks to look like you're focused?
Maybe you had the wrong people and they're messing it up.
And so that's what the problem. That's my problem right there. We can't go another season with you not having the right people.
Well, hold up. They fired the GM, right?
Yeah.
And now they're winning.
The GM's job wasn't the GM's job done before the season started?
Wait. Okay, let's.
Was the GM's job before the season started? Help educate me and the rest of their football fans. Listen to the show. Was the GM's job complete when he selects the players at the draft, and then with free agency when he puts the players in place during
well, they have this thing called trade deadline. They have this thing called trade deadline where you could still make your team better.
And I think he was traded, or he was fired a week before the trade deadline. I think it was. My memory serves.
What I'm trying to get at, Cam, is you have to have organizational alignment. You'll understand this. When Holmgren was there with Ruskell, did the Seahawks have alignment? No, they didn't have alignment because those guys hated each other.
Well, who'd you say? When
Tim Ruskell was there with the Seahawks as the GM and Holmgren was as head coach, they did not have organizational alignment because Ruskell would draft guys and Holmgren wouldn't play them. Didn't play the guys. So when Pete came in with Snyder, they had alignment. They were aligned in terms of how they saw players, how they were going to use them, which guys they were going to bring back in free agency, who they wanted to bring in, when they were going to move on from people. And so if you don't have that between the guy making the picks and the GM or helping to secure talent and the guy coaching them, then it's hard to go out there week in and week out and win games. And so that's what I'm saying wasn't happening with the Dolphins. Why they got GM. You see what's happening with the Raiders. They don't have alignment, and that's why they're struggling. So a lot of these teams, look at Minnesota. I don't think they have alignment in Minnesota. That's why they're struggling. The organizations that have sustainable success, Philadelphia Eagles, Rams, now the Chargers.
Right.
Denver, because now they have alignment. It's because they're all on the same page. And so the franchises that aren't on the same page are going to continue to just kind of
flounder around.
Tennessee Titans.
Okay. Fair point. Two more points. Two more points. Just like the tush push has rubbed half the NFL wrong, and they're probably going to rule that out, as I understand it. Can we get rid of the punch out? Can we get rid of the punch out play in the NFL?
You mean the peanut punch?
I'm tired of it. I've seen enough.
Oh, wow.
I've
Really?
seen enough. I've seen enough of it. It's not that
what's wrong with the peanut punch?
These players nowadays are running to they're not even trying to focus on tackling. They're running to punch the ball out.
That's on the guy tackling.
I mean, that's what they're doing. Like they're running to over there to see if they can get the right angle to punch the ball out. And I'm sick of it.
Turnovers are momentum changing plays. And guys get paid to guys literally get paid in the locker room to get turnovers. Like there's a kitty and they're getting thousands of dollars to go punch the ball out. So let's keep it a buck. I mean, this is a business. So, I mean, guys create those turnovers for their team. Now, the smart teams, the first guy's going in the tackle, the second guy's coming in the punch. So once the ball carrier is secured, guys are getting after the football, which they should. They have drills where they work on that stuff. So, what do you just want to take all the fun out? Do you want them to not dance and dance now too? And the ball to them like Barry Sanders? Come on, bro.
Man. I'm seeing a lot of players, and it makes sense. The first guy makes the tackle, and the second guy come and try to get the ball out. That's what you're taught. I've seen the first guy going to position himself, angle himself properly to take a swipe at the ball, not tackling the player. That's what I'm sick of. It's the not tackling.
Why you stay in the game very long.
Well, there you go. That too. On the way out, Eric, let me know who you think is going to win the Super Bowl. I got or is it going to be the Rams or the Bills that win the Super Bowl this year? I got the Rams versus Bills.
The Bills were my preseason pick to win it. I had the Bills Commanders, so obviously I was way off in the NFC. So I'm stick with the Bills because that's who I picked in the preseason. with a chance to select again in the NFC, it's hard to pick against the Niners, man. Like I just, especially if they get the number 1 seed, like they don't have to leave Santa Clara.
They only
The
have
Super
to leave
Bowl's
home
there.
on. Right, right.
And Brock's balling. He's playing at a really high level right
balling.
now. The defense is playing better. I think the only team that would beat them there would be the Rams. I like the Rams to go to San Fran and potentially, so that I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go Rams Bills.
Oh, look at you! You got a copy of my paper. I got the Rams. I think the Rams. I think Sean McVay is clearly the best. If he's not the best coach in the NFL right now today, somebody's gonna have to show me who is. And he runs a great program. You got a lot of these young guys performing, the young player performing on the offense and the defensive side of the ball. Stafford is a beast. He's had a couple bad games, with one of them being the Falcons game. I think they're ready. And the Bills, if the Bills don't do it this season, like, are they ever going to do it? And I think it's their time. They keep knocking at the door. I'm okay with them putting all. It seems like they got rid of Stephon. On Saturday, the Texans beat the Chargers, beating up Herbert. Herbert's not going to play this week, but the Chargers still make the playoffs. And we had the Ravens beat up on the Packers. Derrick Henry, as I mentioned, went crazy. We had Sam Darnold against the Panthers. The defense is awesome. The running game is very solid. Sam Darnold was able to make just enough plays to get by the Panthers, who play an inspired ball. I'll just talk about the games that really matter. Outside the Dolphins beat the Buccaneers, Jaguars beat the Colts in impressive fashion. The Patriots beat the Jets, pounded them. Shador Sanders got his first win. He beat the Steelers. The Saints beat the Titans. The Falcons beat the Rams narrowly on Sunday Night Football. We talked about the MVP race. Talked about the Defensive Player of the Year. So that's really looking at it. My picks last week, I went 66% last week in my picks. Only 7 out of 16, so not great. I'm at 62% for the year. This week, though, the big games I have are the San Francisco versus the Seattle. That's a big game of the week. Lions versus the Bears is another game of the week. And I have the Ravens and the Steelers, obviously, a game of the week. And I'm going Baltimore over the Steelers. I'm going Chicago over the Lions. And I'm going San Fran over Seattle. So we'll see how this thing transpires. For basketball, fellas, let's talk some hoop right now. Let's talk some NBA action. Talk about some potential trades. Do you guys want to see Giannis on the Spurs, the Heat, or the Knicks? I think the Spurs have the best. I personally would not trade for Giannis if I'm running the Spurs. I just have the 3-guard offense, and let's see who can stop that. But they have the best package to go get Giannis. The Heat don't really have a package to go get Giannis, but I wouldn't mind seeing Bam, Giannis, and Norman Powell running the squad there. On the Knicks are kind of a similar situation where they're the Knicks are would have to give up some key players. I personally would give up Quality Town for Giannis. I'd drive him to the airport personally. But I think they might need more than that. And so I don't know if Giannis actually gets out of there. I think the Knicks would probably be the best situation. What do you guys think about Anthony Davis to the Hawks? Would you make that move and turn them just into a superior defensive team? I mean, he's not there. He doesn't play in Dallas. I'm not sure he played much more in Atlanta. It might be a more fun place, but I'm not sure if he does. He doesn't do much different in Atlanta. Wembanyama helps the Spurs get to the cup. We already knew that. Jalen in that same cup, Jalen Rose dropped 40 to get the win, and they did not decide to hang their banner. So good on them. Zion Williams comes back here this week. It scores 18 points off the bench. Strong late game scoring in his comeback. Kawhi Leonard this week, fans. If you guys forgot about him, the guy who signed with Aspiration, he averaged 41 this week, including a 45-point masterpiece. Those on the Clippers, they're on the Clippers. Brook Lopez now is playing for the injured Vlade Divac. Divac is a low post player. He's one of the true big men left in the game today. However, Brook Lopez is able to step out and shoot that 3-pointer. And with him shooting threes, I think a couple nights ago he had 11 threes. With him shooting 3-pointers the way it is, the way things stand, he's able to open the court up for Kawhi and James Harden to get to the hoop. So they're going to have to consider that when Zubac is ready to play, how they're going to use him versus Lopez versus Zubac. And just a final note on the NBA, we can't talk about the All-Star voting and where you guys think players are, who's been underrated, undervoted, but it's no longer okay to underestimate the San Antonio Spurs. The San Antonio Spurs fans, I'm here to tell you, are NBA championship contenders right now today, December 31, 2025. They're only getting better. In the next 4 or 5 months, can they be champions? We'll see. But the Spurs are must-see TV. They're only getting better. I think they can make the Western Conference Finals against Houston Rockets. Pretty sure they can make that finals. Have you guys seen the All-Star voting? What do you guys think about the All-Star voting? Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. In the West, I'll tell you what I find interesting. In the West, you got Luka Jokic, Steph, Shea, Wemby, Anthony Edwards. And then at number 7, you have Denny Avdija of the Portland Trailblazers. Now, I'm not saying Denny is not worthy of this rating, but they have him more fans voting. They have him higher than Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Austin Reeves, Alfred Sengun, and James Harden, and the aforementioned Anthony Davis. I just find that in Avdija is playing great basketball, though he is. And in the Eastern Conference, Michael Porter's 10. He's behind Pascal, Jalen Johnson of Atlanta, Karl Anthony Towns of the Knicks, Jaylen Brown, Donovan Mitchell, Kate Cunningham, Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Maxey, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. I like Maxey's up there at number 2 because he's been keeping Philly afloat even without Paul George or Joel Embiid. So good grading there. Lloyd Marketing, is he better than Jimmy Butler, Stephon Castle, Chet Holmgren, Kawhi Leonard? Jimmy Butler at 17 has 111,000 votes. Stephon Castle at number 18 has 93,000 votes. Looking in the East, what do I see? Pascal Siakam ahead of Michael Porter Jr., LaMelo Ball, Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram is at 12. That's kind of high. Norman Powell at 18, I think that's rather low. Paolo at 19, I think that's rather low. I mean, the voting's early, but those are my first return. My internet is acting up, folks. I don't know how much of the NBA stuff you got, but I wanted to do the NBA, the voting of All-Star Weekend for you guys. So I'm going to just jump straight into my This Week in History segment. This Week in History segment starting January 1, 1863. President Lincoln signs the Emancipation Proclamation. January 1, 1863. January 1, 1990, David N. Duke was sworn in as the first African American mayor in New York City history. January 11, 1997, Kofi Annan of Ghana is named the first Black Secretary of the United Nations. On December 31, 1972 baseball champion Roberto Clemente died in an aviation accident on December 31 while en route to deliver aid to earthquake victims in Nicaragua. So he gave his life to kind of serve others. So kudos to you, Roberto, for doing what you did and being committed to others' growth as you are. In the Cotton Bowl, the Miami Hurricanes just beat the Ohio State Buckeyes. Tomorrow we got the Oregon Ducks taking on the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Who do you guys have winning that one? We have Alabama Crimson Tide playing the Indiana Hoosiers tomorrow as well, and we have Mississippi playing Georgia. Who's you guys pick for the national championship? Who's going to win it all? Now that we have the number 10 team knocked off the number 2 team, well, Miami might have some action, fans. Miami might have some action. Sorry about the internet, fans. Thank you guys. Those of you guys who chose to stick around. Thank you guys for sticking with me. Just a few more comments to go. Keyshawn Davis. He's going to join the January 31 fight card with Shakur Stevenson taking on Teofimo Lopez. It's going to be an interesting fight card already, but now you add him to it, it's going to be even more interesting. Which interesting is good. How many of you guys are excited about this particular fight? Because I think this would be a good one to watch. That's all I have, fans. I really thank those of you guys who tuning in to the Voice of the Fans.